Um, excuse me. A trip. I um, I did my first 2.5, almost 3 miles today. Not bad. And it's funny. Like when I run, it gives me a chance to think. And so I was thinking as I was running, about all the things and all of the things that I set out to accomplish in life. And I kind of find out, I discovered something about myself, and not just me, but human nature in particular. And excuse my voice, I'm still kind of like trying to calm down from the run, so I'm a little chipmunkish, if you will. So what I discovered is that all the things that I set out to do, we procrastinate a lot, and it's not just me; it's human nature in particular. Actually, we procrastinate a lot is because the thing is that we're not afraid of the journey. I think it's that, at least for me, um, uh, uh, at least for me, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid to fail. That to make that simple attempt and then to come to the end of it all, and then it doesn't work out, or it doesn't work in your favor, or whatever happens. I discovered in myself that a lot of times I procrastinate and don't want to attempt new things is because, or attempt things in order to accomplish my goal, is because I'm afraid that I'm not going to succeed. And there's only when we not be afraid to fail is when we make the attempt. And I know you've heard the old adage, it's not how many times you fall, is how many times you get up. And that's true, but a lot of us don't think that way. A lot of us think, well, you know what? I just rather not even make the attempt. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to fail, or I don't want to lose. You don't want to step outside of your comfort zone in order to make that attempt, in order to achieve that potential success that you're looking to achieve. And for me, that's been it. I discovered that today. It's like, man, why haven't I done this, or why haven't I done that? And it's a lot of times it's because I don't want to just fail in that. It's as when I first learned how to trade. It was my mentor, one of the guys that was training me to trade stocks. He said one thing that is actually telling me, I didn't understand it then, but I actually do understand it today. You're gonna lose trades. No matter. There's no trade strategy out there that's going to give you 100% success rate. In other words, not every trade that you take is going to succeed. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, you may actually have more trades that you take fail than succeed. Like the big banks like Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Chase, you name it. When they enter the market, they trade a lot. They trade a lot, like on a larger scale than I could ever trade. They trade billions and billions of dollars per day. They lose more trades than they actually win. Like, it just like totally tripped me out when I heard that. They lose more trades than they win, but it's a trip. The trades that they're winning totally encompasses all of their losses. You know what I'm saying? So they're only right 3 out of the 10 times. And there are some investors that does that as well. Some smaller traders like myself that are only right like 30-40% of the time. And if you're sitting there and you're looking at your charts and you're seeing that you're winning, that you're losing more than you're winning, and even though you're winning may be larger than your losses, but still, and it may be large enough to encompass your loss, it does something to your psyche, when you sit there and look at your charts and you're like, damn, I'm not winning. And so for me, that's just life, period. It's you fail, and you're like, it does something to you. Like, damn, I can't win. Everything that I do is failing. I used to tell a friend of mine, I have the reverse Midas touch. You know what I mean? Everything I touch turns to shit. And that's how it was for a while for me. And then, it just, sometimes I get those hits, and then sometimes I lose. But I think if I could get over that fear of failure, that fear of not being able to accomplish what it is I set out to accomplish, and be able to roll off of it like water's off a duck back, that is the key. I used to work for the sales company, and I think I was the shittiest salesperson ever, because what it was is I used to have to go out and it was like direct sales. I had like these. This is like in the '90s, of course. I had like these cameras, and I had like these big teddy bears, and we would have to go to like these businesses, and I would have to say, "Hey, excuse me, sir, I have this 35 millimeter camera." At the time, I don't know what they now they're megapixels, but back then they were millimeters or whatever it was. Something, 35 millimeter camera. Hey, do you want it? It's only $5, and people would be like, oh well, or some people would be like, get out of here, you peddler, that sort of thing, or no solicitors, did you read the sign, that sort of thing. And we at the end of the day, we would all go back into like the sales office, and we would kind of go over what happened during our day. And this one guy had a very interesting concept, and no matter what his concept, no matter what he does in life, he's going to succeed, because he said, you know what, the way I treat it is I'm going to get so many no's before I get a yes, and so when I go and I get these no's, or get out of here, and we don't talk to peddlers, or we don't talk to solicitors, that sort of thing. I know at some point I'm going to get a yes, so I got to go through so many no's. He had like the law of averages here, like I'm going to get like 50 no's to one yes, so I got to get through all my no's so I can get my yes. And that guy made more money than any of us, and me. What do you mean no? What do you mean you don't want it? It's $5. It's a 35 millimeter camera, and I couldn't wrap my head around why did he not want my camera? And then in sales, if they don't want one thing, they have a technique called rehash. Well, if you don't want the camera, I have this like big teddy bear, and it was like close to Valentine's Day or whatever. I have this big teddy bear that's only $10. What do you think? That sort of thing. And for me, I was always like, people were always like, get away from here, you peddler. We don't do this. And we'd have to go into businesses, warehouses and stuff like that. I don't think that company is actually still around anymore, because the kind of feedback that they used to blowback that we used to get going into these places would be just phenomenal. But this guy, that, hey man, I got to get through so many no's to get a yes. This is a guy that's not afraid to fail. As a matter of fact, he expects to fail so many times before you actually succeed. And that's probably what you're going to go through in life. You're going to fail more than you succeed, but your successes are going to be what carries you over the top. And as long as you're able to sit there and look at that failure and be like, you know what, I don't give a crap about this failure, I'm going to continue to move forward, at some point you will succeed. It is called the law of averages. It actually does exist. So anyway, great day today. It feels more like a Sunday today than a Wednesday. I don't know why that is. But anyway, I hope all of you have a really good and productive day. Blessed.